Most people think shipwreck survivors die in the water. They imagine the storm, the impact, the chaos. But in many real cases, the survivors made it off the ship alive. They were floating. They were breathing. They were still alive. And then, rescue never came. Not because no one was looking, but because no one could hear them. Across decades of maritime disasters, a quiet pattern keeps appearing. Survivors don't always die from sharks. They don't always die from drowning. Very often, they die because they cannot signal for help. At sea, your voice disappears shockingly fast. Wind eats it. Waves swallow it. Distance destroys it. You can scream until your throat tears, and no one a mile away will hear you. Search and rescue teams don't magically spot everyone. Even in modern operations, rescuers rely heavily on visual signals, sound signals, and electronic beacons. If none of those are present, you become incredibly easy to miss. In multiple survival accounts, victims later reported the same chilling realization: they could see aircraft overhead. They could see distant boats. But they had no way to alert them. Here's what most people underestimate. Over open water, wind carries sound away. Wave noise masks human voices. Exhaustion weakens your shouting. Dehydration destroys your vocal strength. After even a few hours in survival conditions, many people physically cannot shout effectively. Your body is conserving energy. Your throat dries out. Your voice fades. And the ocean stays loud. This is why trained survival experts repeatedly emphasize one simple truth: your voice is not a reliable signaling tool at sea. One thing that keeps showing up in real survival reports is how many people had no way to signal for help. A simple emergency whistle can carry much farther than your voice, especially when you're exhausted or injured. I put the exact one many survival experts recommend in the description if you want to see it. In post-incident analyses of maritime disasters, investigators often find something frustrating. Rescue assets were sometimes closer than survivors realized. But without a strong signal, no visual marker, no loud alert, no electronic beacon, the survivors blended into the environment. Remember, the ocean is visually enormous. From the air, a human head in the water is extremely difficult to spot. Add waves. Add glare. Add distance. And the odds drop fast. There's also a dangerous mental trap that survivors fall into. At first, adrenaline is high. People shout. They wave. They expect quick rescue. But as hours pass, energy drops. Morale drops. Voices weaken. Signaling becomes inconsistent. Some survivors later admitted they stopped shouting altogether because they believed no one was coming. That moment, psychologically, is incredibly dangerous. Because rescue windows often remain open longer than victims think. In survival situations, time is everything. The longer you remain detectable, the higher your rescue probability climbs. Strong signaling extends your detection range. It preserves your physical energy. And it creates repeat alert opportunities. Search aircraft may pass multiple times. Rescue boats may sweep grid patterns. But they can only respond if they know where to look. One of the most overlooked mistakes in maritime survival is assuming visibility equals detection. It does not. You may feel exposed. You may feel obvious. But to rescuers scanning miles of ocean, you are extremely small. This is why experienced sailors, kayakers, and offshore workers often carry redundant signaling tools. Because at sea, being alive is only step 1. Being found is step 2. The ocean rarely kills quickly. More often, it waits. It lets small disadvantages stack up: fatigue, dehydration, exposure, and silence. And sometimes, the difference between rescue and disappearance comes down to something painfully simple: whether anyone could hear you. If you found this useful, check the description for the recommended signaling tool many survival experts trust. And for more real-world ocean survival analysis, subscribe to Commander Puzzles. Because at sea, knowledge buys time.